So the goal of this video is to give you the tools that you need in order to do whatever you want. Okay, and all it'll take is 4 months to start seeing results, and ideally 8 to 12 weeks to see the best results that you can get. Now, this isn't a video about how to get stronger or how to get fitter. I've made videos like that in the past, and I will continue to make videos like that in the future. This video is about giving you the tools that you need to be in good physical shape to do whatever you want outside of the gym. So if you want to go play pickup basketball, golf, tennis, go on a run, go on a hike, whatever it is that you want to do, you will be fit and strong enough to do it. Is this the best way to train? I'd say that for most people, myself included, yeah, this is the best way to train. I genuinely think so. Now, if you're an athlete with a competitive season, or if you're just a person with very clear goals, like you want a 500-pound squat, or you want to run a sub 5-minute mile, this is not how you should be training. You should be training for those goals specifically. But for the rest of us that don't have clear goals, this is how you should be training. So the first step is just about going to the gym, okay? Getting a consistent schedule of going to the gym. But what you do in the gym actually matters. If your goal is not to get stronger, it's not to get bigger, it's just to be on a good physical shape, you need to do the most bang for your buck movements in there, okay? The work in the gym is all about staying strong and staying resilient. As we grow old, we will inevitably lose some muscle mass. And just staying consistent with a gym routine is the best thing that you can do to sort of like damp that. So when you're in the gym, you should be focused on like compound movements, big, heavy barbell compound movements for the most part, okay? Along with some accessory work. You know, some people might like it more than others, but I think everybody should do some form of accessory work. You know, there are a lot of smaller muscle groups that just won't be that well targeted with like heavy compound movements. But these accessory movements should not take that long. Do not put that much emphasis on your work in the gym, okay? Show up, lift something heavy for a couple sets, 2 to 3 sets, 3 to 5 reps, okay? Try hard and then get out of there. I suggest you follow an upper lower body split, you know, and if you're just gonna go 1 day a week, which is perfectly fine, you need to try pretty hard on that 1 day, and I suggest you do a full body workout. And keep in mind that if you're just going 1 day a week and just doing a full body split, you really should not be doing more than like 4 to 5 exercises, okay? So be smart about what you do. Remember, if your goal is to just be in the best physical shape that you can be, there's no point in you going to the gym to lift weights 5-6 days a week. There's nothing inherently wrong with a routine, but it has a purpose, and oftentimes it will be a hypertrophy purpose, okay? But remember, that's not what we're training for here. The second step is about aerobic capacity. This might be a little bit boring, but it is equally as important, okay? You need to upkeep your aerobic capacity. This will increase your energy levels, increase your recovery, and also allow you to do more work and do more things. So how do we do this? We need to get a little technical here for a second, but stay with me. I suggest you get some type of like wrist device or any type of heart monitoring device. With this, you're gonna figure out what your resting heart rate is. If your resting heart rate is above 60, you need to focus on doing a lot of low intensity work. You essentially do 2 things to build your aerobic capacity: high intensity work and low intensity work. But you cannot do these things at the same time. You need to focus on low intensity work and then move into your high intensity work. And if your resting heart rate is above 60, you are just not in good enough physical shape to really get anything out of high intensity work. So in order to improve this, you need to be focusing on 30 to 40 minute sessions, doing something, anything, and keeping your heart rate usually in between 120 and 160, ideally 130, 150, okay? That is sort of the sweet spot for essentially everyone. And you're gonna do this 3, 4, maybe even 5 times a week. Stick to the gym, maybe once a week, but make sure you're addressing this first, okay? If you're already below 60, then you have more freedom to do whatever you want. I still suggest most people keep, you know, 2 to 3 sessions like this a week, about 30 minutes. You know, this is not hard work. Like you could be listening to music, listening to an audiobook, and it's nice. Once you get used to doing this, it generally becomes like almost like meditation. You're just sitting there, staring at the screen, you're being careful with your heart rate. But once you get used to the feel of it, you can just do it. And the next part will get us into the next step, which is doing some type of high intensity work on a weekly basis, or at most like once every 2 weeks, okay? And for this, my recommendation is for you to play, like do a sport. Go outside of the gym and do something. Pick up basketball, I play tennis now, you know, riding your bike, anything. You know, sports will sort of inherently have a high intensity component to them. That's why it's the easiest thing to do, and that's what I usually recommend people doing. So join a rec league or just pick up a single discipline traditional sport, and that'll be more than enough. Do that once a week and you will be getting more than enough conditioning. And that's really it for the most part, okay? You're gonna be doing some form of resistance training once a week, maybe twice a week. some form of low intensity work 2, maybe 3 times a week, and one session of high intensity work once a week. At a minimum, this becomes like 4 days a week in which you're doing some type of physical activity. And we all have preferences. Some people might enjoy the gym the most. Some people might enjoy doing some low intensity work the most. Some people might enjoy work like playing soccer once a week the most. We're all different, but those are sort of the basics that you need to upkeep in order to be in good shape to do whatever you want. Those are the basics, and those will not change. And to close up, I have a couple more recommendations. The first one is grab the low-hanging fruits. Do things that are easier on you. There's no point of making your life more complicated with training. Like, if you're 35 years old, you're not gonna make a comeback into sports. Just keep at it. Keep playing. Keep being active. Okay, you have a career, you may have a family, responsibilities, like you're doing fine in life. Don't turn sports into another stressor. Okay, stop it with the 5 a.m. workouts. Like, it does nothing for you if you're over there doing a bullshit workout for an hour, half asleep. Okay, you'll be better off showing up to the gym after work, tired, and then just trying hard for 30 minutes. 5 a.m. workouts, early morning workouts are not magical. You still need to try hard, and it's pretty hard to try hard in the morning when you slept like crap. If diet is an issue, just eat more protein. Okay, it's such a low-hanging fruit, just adding a little bit more protein to every meal. Spend a little bit more money on meat, and then just eat more protein overall. Have a protein shake, whatever it is. It's more satiating, it'll stop you from grabbing for snacks, and it can do a lot for your diet without having to get into tracking macros. Also, do the routines. Just do the boring stuff. Be okay with sticking with one movement for 12 weeks at a time before you change it. That's how you track results, and that's how you actually are supposed to be training. And finally, make a true effort to keep the schedule and just adjust the scope. Okay, so don't skip your session, just change the workout. Be willing to do that. You might say, it's pointless if I'm just gonna go in there for 20 minutes. It's not pointless. Maybe from a physiological perspective, it's not gonna do much, but the psychological impact of just sticking with your schedule, regardless of what happens, is huge. Okay, and you should not overlook that. So remember, keep the schedule and just adjust the scope when things get busy. That's the video. As always, thank you everyone for watching. Hope you got something useful out of it. There's a link below to an email series that I put together with the top 10 principles that I've learned over the past 20 years of training. You can sign up with a few clicks. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching.
It is important to draw wisdom from many different places. If we take it from only one place, it becomes rigid and stale. Understanding others, the other elements, and the other nations will help you become whole.